And welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Aesop Grimm, and as you can see, it's the 3rd of February, 911 AD. This is the continuation of our Iberian Peninsula playthrough that started in 867. We're on our 3rd generation ruler here of the Menendez family. Am I pronouncing that right? Menendez, yes. We want to form Portugal, but we are growing laterally rather than vertically or longitudinally. We almost had Portugal, but if we go to the title history, the Duchess' son died from remember we had massive smallpox all along the coast in this kind of reverse 7 formation. And he died from the Galician pox. At 15 years old, he was so close to inheriting that thing, and if he had died after he inherited, we would have it, because he obviously doesn't have any heirs, and his older brother died at 3 years old. So it was not to be. But let's go ahead and unpause it, let things start rolling forward. There's nothing really big here for me to find out. Sweet smiles and little lies, just like other children his age, my son and heir, Arius, sometimes lies and tests boundaries. However, he often avoids suspicion with his sweet demeanor. Ooh, I've known people like this. They come off as charmingly mischievous. And people always forgive him when he does get caught. I wonder just how much he gets away with. Yep, he got the trait charming, there it is. Charmingly mischievous. Arius certainly knows how to wrap people around his little finger. He is sweet and amiable, which allows him to get away with almost anything. Okay. We have 377 gold. Is there anything that we can build or be building? Level 2 should be the top level that I can go to. This will be done in 17 months. Level 2, level 2, level 2, level 2. Okay. We can fill empty holdings, or we can save up for major buildings. And I think I want to save up for major buildings. So, things might be kind of boring, I guess, going forward. We'll have to see what events the game throws at us, but we're going to be saving money for a while. We're making 5.5 ducats a month. And things are relatively peaceful right now, although I think we are in a phase of hostility, yes. We are currently trying to sway our wife and get her at 100 approval. That's always very important for baby-making purposes, growing the family. I also like to role-play a family-first ethic with the, I guess, philosophical approach that you start at home base and you create a strong foundation from there, and that's where everything else will flow from. So that's got to be top priority, right? God, family, country kind of thing. Hey, we're already into the summer of 9/11 AD. Maybe we should take a look at what the world looks like, huh? You can see Galicia. We can zoom out quite a bit and still see Galicia pretty well. It's not small like I had intended to play as. We're gonna take scholarly circles. And looking at the Iberian Peninsula, it is pretty chopped up, which is good for everybody, really. There's no central power or overwhelming power enacting aggressive takeover or tyranny or anything. Although we have some substantial empires. This one, this one, this one, this one, ourselves. We look to possibly be the largest on the continent, actually. Or on the peninsula. I guess this one would be the Idrisid Sultanate. Oh, look, wow. Oh, I might have spoken too early. They could be in the process of taking over everything. That's a lot. That's a large power base. Look at Ghana, man. Okay. What else we got here? Nubia. The Arabian Empire. The Byzantines appear to continue to be growing into Arabia. I'm surprised by that. Historically, I would expect them to grow into Europe more and try to reestablish Rome or something like that, but this game is ahistorical as soon as you hit unpause. The Duchess was not swayed, but she is pregnant. I think Bulgaria has pretty much stopped. Innovation discovered. Quilted armor innovation. Let's take a look at that. Let me finish my thought here. For a couple episodes, Bulgaria seemed to be just chunking away into the Byzantine Empire, but I think this has been like this for several episodes now. Bavaria, East Francia, Lotharingia, Aquitaine, West Francia. Khazaria is enormous. I don't see any Mongols. There's a certain date that they're not allowed to appear before, so I don't know what that trigger date is. I don't have that memorized, but they'll be somewhere up here. They'll start as one county and then spread from there. Denmark remains rather large. Sweden has moved over into what we would call Finland these days. Alba is eating into England. This might become Alba eventually. They seem to have the momentum and the power. Okay. What was I going to check out? We had technology. Galician innovations. We got this one. Unlocks the armored footmen, men-at-arms. Formed of a dozen or more layers of linen stitched together, these jackets can stop even heavy arrows and are an affordable way for us to armor an entire regiment for battle. Nice. We're 5 years out from public works, after which I think it's barracks that I want to research, which will allow us to upgrade some of our holdings. But as much as I want to keep saving money, I just realized we do need to invest in some military. We were lucky to win that last fight. They did something weird. The AI wouldn't attack us. And I think we were just really, really fortunate. And so part of what helps alleviate that is that we're really low on our men-at-arms. We need more. Let's take light footmen. I would like light footmen and light horse. I want 2 regiments. Ooh, I can't get 2. What I need to do... Where are you stationed at? Santiago? I need to decommission you. And I need to build up a set of light horsemen just because that's historically accurate for everybody that was in Asturias. That's going to be like a tradition. For the Christian side of the Iberian cultures, I guess the Arabs also would be very qualified with horses. They're one of the world famous places for horses. But that is perhaps horsemanship in general. I don't really know how to phrase it. I know that a central part of the ability to even get the Reconquista started was the quick hit and run tactics of cavalry out of these areas, out of the mountains. So I want some of them, and I want light footmen. And that should give me a nice army. I will, let's see, I need to move you. I need to move you over into Coruña. Okay. And then the horsemen, I need to station you in Santiago. And the light footmen won't really have a holding, I guess, until I can maybe take Twee. I don't know how I'm going to make that happen without force, and I would rather not do that. What can we do with you? We could disinherit you, but gosh. Modify. I tell you what, guys, I need to learn something here. So that's what we're gonna do. Are you qualified for anything? No, you're terrible. Okay, we're gonna create a temp save. Yes, overwrite. And we're gonna select our uncle here. And we're gonna denounce him. Oh, it costs a lot. Okay, well, never mind then. That's pretty pricey. I kind of like that, actually. It shouldn't be easy to denounce family members. That doesn't seem like it would be an easy thing to get away with in this kind of in a Middle Ages culture. Misdeeds of the Spy Master. In the evening, Spy Master Pio sits in a dimly lit council room. His gaze and quill are focused upon inconspicuous expense reports. Yet beside him lie clay molds with the royal stamp, which would only be needed if he intended to defraud the realm. To think that a man of his position would dare act so disgracefully under the eyes of God. Huh, wow, disgracefully but skillfully. Had I not caught him in the act, nobody would have been the wiser to his scheme. No, I don't want to side with corruption. Ooh, to the dungeons with you. Nope. Improved administrative checks. Ooh, plus 12% development growth and plus 15 popular opinion. Absolutely. You're out of here, man. Alright, new Spy Master. Encarare, I suppose. What's development looking like these days? 14, 6, and 4 down here. We just started here. I think it's time to go ahead and start developing Coruña directly. Should I do that? Maybe not. I don't really know. I need to look up and see what the strategy is on that. I think that there's a diminishing returns after you get to a certain point, but it seems like there's also the theory that you want your capital as high as possible first. Your glory is widely known. Excellent. Would you stop that? There we go. Alternative reading. In a dusty corner of the library, I find a tome, bound in leather and inscribed with strange symbols. Yeah, heresy. I'll turn it into the priests. Who are you? The Count of Sikubaya. I accept. You're always there for me, and I hope you know that I am grateful. My son and heir Arius approached me in a rare display of appreciation. When I need it, I expect you to be there for me too. How does he feel about me? Plus 100, we'll go with the top one then. Book gained. Did I just become best friends with that guy, or was that a truce? I hope it was a truce. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it was. Okay. Sikabaya. Somewhere over here. Here. This guy. So we have a truce with him. Yep. Yeah, he gave me a bunch of gold for it. Alright, Lucidio seems like a fine name. A second son. You will be trained, I think, in martial. And, educated by us. Yeah, we're pretty balanced. We have a good learning skill. So we should be able to pass those traits on pretty well. Have we killed anybody? Oh yeah, the family member. Ordoño. I guess he's not a family member. No, oh yeah, we're not a kinslayer, we're just a known murderer. I wonder what the reason was here. This isn't the guy that I ran a murder plot against as his grandfather. Our current dude's grandfather. Perhaps it would say in here. Whoa. Developed romantic feelings for Duchess Sabella. Oh my goodness. Who in the world was Duchess Sabella? Huh. Tuscany, your aunt. Oh, he was a little kid. Is what I'm guessing. He had like a... Okay, that's kind of normal. He had like a crush on an older girl in his family, right? When he was a little kid. I became friends with Duke Ermenexildo, became friends with Duchess Sabella, grandmother Gertrude died of old age, developed romantic feelings for Maria Menendez, also an aunt and tutor. Now by this time, what's his age here? When was he born? 884. I can't math very well in public. 6 minus 4 is 2. 9 minus 8 is 1. Okay, he's 12 years old here. 13, 13, 13, 15. Oh, there could have been some things going on here. Okay, here's where he turns 16 and he's acknowledged as a full-grown man. He married Duchess Annika. His grandmother drank herself to death. His grandfather died of old age. His other grandfather died from smallpox. He caught smallpox. His first child is born to Annika. His father was slain in battle. He inherits the duchy. His aunt died of consumption. Another aunt died in her sleep, and then his son was born. So there's nothing in here about the murder that he committed. That's neat. So like I said a couple episodes ago, this game will absolutely unravel a story for you, but the way that you find out about it, the way that you kind of like read the chapters, is by going through the character screens and looking at the various events and information regarding them to see what all's been going on. The ties that bind is what I call it. If you think about that conspiracy theory meme with the guy that's staring at the camera and he's got the map on the wall with all the red strings going between the pins, that's what it's like. You have to make the connections between various characters and it'll begin to unravel a story for you. I've come across a book describing how ancient monastics used trances and visions of ecstasy to commune with heaven. It seems a strange practice in our modern age, but perhaps there's something to be learned from them. I wonder what would happen if I imitate their practices. You test the mystical. What do other texts say? You attempt to learn more about the practice through books. I wouldn't go off of one text. I would want to see if there were several texts that hinted at the same thing that are also preferably independent of one another. They're not connected in any way or have any internal motivations to agree with each other. The more I dig into the ancient texts, the more I discover. Could the mysterious practices of the ancient monastics predate even Christianity itself? I seem to have stumbled across something remarkable. This is teaching me so much about my faith, or perhaps I should experiment a little after all. I think I'll go with this one. We'll get an increased learning and a learning lifestyle perk, but I want to get off this track as soon as possible. I feel like this is probably leading to heresy. It's this one right here. Predate even Christianity itself. That feels like, I mean, that could be a thing, right? And it could still be of the Christian faith, because the Old Testament obviously is a big part. But it seems, I get the feeling like the developers are setting something up here for something that would be heretical towards Christianity. So let's go with this. And I'm going to take open-minded. What does our council look like? 12, 15, 25, and 13. That's actually not bad. And my wife is a mayor, right? She's not. Why is she not here? Where is she at? Located in Molina. How do I get that to stay up? Can't seem to do it. Okay. There's another way I can do this. We can, hold on. Find title. Molina. There is no Molina. Unlanded, and oh, here we go. Why are you down here? You don't hold any title. Oh, that is the strangest thing, man. She's not captive. Oh, there we go. Yeah, come home, sweetheart. Dang. What are you doing out there? Flagellant. Okay. Now she's assisting ruler, which directly impacted my stats. Now this does what? 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, or stewardship +6, chivalry +6, martial. Court physician's knowledge increases. Court politics might be the way to go. Let's go domain. I'm still doing a domain focus, like a money-making focus is what I'm trying to get at. Okay, I have been studying the ancient religious texts and the writings of scholars, and they all seem to agree that the world will end 6,000 years after its creation. By my calculations, we are less than a century away. However, my bishop, Lorenzo, urges me to keep it to myself. Leave it to the clergy and avoid panic. What if your calculations are wrong? Let's look at what we would get. Let's trust our bishop. I'm picking this as a role-playing thing. I think this one's probably the best value, but I'm gonna role-play that we trust our bishop because people did back in the day. He's on our council. This is the guy that you would come to, you know? We have no stress. We're in January of 913 AD. 471 ducats, making 6.2 now per month. That's good. Also, what is my army size at? 12, 35, and going down. Why are my levies going down? Are we at war with somebody? No? A band of several hundred pale-skinned Sakaliba, enslaved men and women from the eastern reaches of Europe, have escaped. They're going to want to settle here. I'm going to say no. Beardless eunuch. No, go away. We gain 24 stress. Yeah, that's not too bad. They were going to demand a city, and they would be in charge of it from then on, and I don't really want that. I want to keep everything kind of culturally similar. Well, I want it to make sense historically. So if I have something where there's an event in here where Jews can take over a city, and I can play that either way, because there was the Spanish Inquisition here, but there was also an interaction with the Sephardic Jews that lived in and amongst these cultures. I mean, they retained their own cultural identity, but they had the national identity as well. And so there were examples of strife and examples of tranquility. So that makes sense to me. But the Sakaliba, I think they're from like up here or something. We got a daughter, Corexia. That sounds too much like Corrección. That's annoying. Hermesinda seems like something that would likely happen. There we go. Learning and educated by your mom. Yeah, I think I've seen that event before about the people that were wanting to seek refuge, and they're from this area, I believe. Maybe I got that wrong. I probably should have double-checked it. But deft diplomacy. My Chancellor Razin has worked hard to convince our neighboring realms and vassals that the peace treaty I entered with Count Tamam of Sikubaya is flawed, illegitimate, and unfair to me. I am once again free to declare war upon him as I please. Well, nice, I suppose. We swayed her. She's at plus 100. Okay. Time to move on to the priest. And let's take this moment to take a gander at our legitimacy. We're almost at the next level. So, we're currently average. No, I'm sorry, your average expected legitimacy. Let me go from the top to the bottom. Recognized ruler 2 of 5. Legitimacy level for the Duke rank. Legitimacy is the representation of the right to reign of a ruler. Vassals also generate legitimacy expectations that the liege is supposed to meet. Only rulers have legitimacy, which is calculated at the moment they become rulers and result in their initial legitimacy. A fraction of the legitimacy of the previous ruler is also inherited by their heir. Legitimacy affects many of the game's systems, making marriage proposals, vassalization, and alliances more likely to be accepted, and claims cheaper, as well as swinging the scales of power in a regency. Legitimacy has 5 legitimacy levels and 1 illegitimate bottom level. Okay, so here's illegitimate. And then level 1, aspiring. Requires at least 90 legitimacy. Short reign duration plus 10%. Popular opinion, well, that's increased from plus 50%. That's how you have to read that. Popular opinion is -5 instead of -10. And instead of having greatly increased or reduced, you have just increased and reduced in these various things. Then level 2 is recognized. Oh, it gets rid of all of the malices. What is that? Claimant factions, alliance acceptance, vassalization acceptance, claim casus belli cost, marriage acceptance, cost for swinging the scales of power. All those go away. And your short reign duration is reduced by 15%. And what we're coming up on then is rightful. Short reign duration is reduced 35%. And now you start getting reduced or slightly increased, slightly reduced or slightly increased in these various things, with also de jure counties needed for creating a title is slightly reduced. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Unpause. 913 AD, August. 515 ducats, 521 now, 6.1 ducats a month. I was wanting to take a look at military. I just paused it again. I want to plus up right here. Increase to size 2 and 3. And let that build up. And that cost me some money, as you can see. Okay, as I tour my castle grounds, a peasant elder approaches me. Great lord, please have mercy upon us and save our village from the tyranny of Countess Ludrika of Salamanca. So he wants me to take over, and I'm going to say no. You are Mozarabic Andalusian. That's a Christian, an organized Christian faith. We are in a current phase of hostility. I would say then that the role play here is, I am sorry, but your people will have to help themselves. We're just going to stay neutral on it. I'm definitely not taking them, right? Because I don't want to be aggressive. I want to see how this plays out just through it with a passive approach. You abandon the peasants to their fate under the rule of Countess Ludrika. And that county gains rising militarism. Okay. Wife resolves courtier debt. Nice. That's why I got a weak hook on him. How do our vassals feel about us? We're 29 years old. Plus 15, plus 11, plus 26, plus 21. Because none of them are on the council. They're all terrible. How did that happen to House Menendez? You should be well trained. Okay. Well, you're not. Learning perk, apostate, different faith opinion plus 15, faith conversion cost negative 75%. Not that we'll be undertaking that, but it is part of the tree. Why is this glowing? Do I have another point to spend? No. Oh, it means I can probably change it if I wanted to. How are we doing on troop count now? 1358. Light horsemen are at 280 of 300. And now they're at 300. And we see our ducats per month. I believe we probably saw that jump up because we're done recruiting them. But it doesn't jump up as high as it was because we're paying for them also. That's part of our monthly bills, basically. My master of the hunt brings word of beasts spotted in my realm. All right, good. 1379. We will now plus up these footmen. 2 and 3. Okay, so that's a chunk of change. You can see we're making 4.6 ducats per month. And that's because we're recruiting right now. Recruiting. Ah, our priest is at 100. Okay. Oh. What are you even doing here, man? Forest fighter, peasant leader, robust, and scarred. Oh. Let's wait. Let's go ahead and try and butter him up a little bit. And when he's at 100, then we'll see if we can get a conversion out of him. Or maybe it doesn't have to be 100, but we'll wait for a little bit. Once again, I have said this before, but I'm just wanting to express how I'm feeling right now. This is such a great game to play this time of year when you're really chill about it. And just kind of watching as things unfold, you know? I guess we'll just look at the world again as we're waiting for the next event to happen. Oh man, the Arabian Empire completely broke apart. Oh, the Byzantines I think the Byzantines have taken more land here. I'm not for sure. It's close. But maybe these areas right here. And then look, they beat back Bulgaria. Bulgaria doesn't even exist anymore. This place broke apart also. Wow. Denmark has broken apart, and basically Norway looks like it has stood up. Under the stone pine, in the scorching midday heat, they sit in the shadow, under a great stone pine, playing on lutes and flutes. They sing in Galician Portuguese and Catalan about life, loss, bittersweet love. I can hear them from my balcony, and they stir my soul. Yet I do not know the identity of these musicians, and when I leave my lofty halls and approach the tree, they are gone. Are they sent from heaven? Are they phantoms devised by Satan to ensnare me? Perhaps not. But what am I to do with these damned feelings? I should sponsor more musicians. No, I'm trying to save my money. Enough, I will have that tree chopped down. So beautiful. I think this is supposed to be pretty good. This character heard music of otherworldly beauty. Stress gain negative 25%. Yeah, we'll take that. So yeah, a couple large areas have completely broken up into independent, I guess, territories. Our wife is pregnant again. Is Ghana still? Yeah. I don't know if Ghana will ever go away. It seems to always be there. What is this at the bottom? The fox was quick to say, however, "Sir, whither so fast away? Are you afraid of me that I am your friend? Should be intend practice villainy upon you. I was not even spying on you." Oh, this is about deception. Let's scroll out and see what our table looks like. We got a little treasure chest there. Candles, scrolls, wax seal, got a stamp, ink and quill. Something like an Aesop's Fable kind of wisdom literature. Sword. These are all different depending on what culture you play, so a lot of love went into this stuff. Probably something like a journal, but it could just simply be a book. Got a dagger with a bear carving, and what's up here? A goblet. Family crest. Well, it's not really. It's just a shield. It would be cool if it was a family crest. Gold, and more scrolls. To make my Chancellor Razine more susceptible, nah, I'll just keep it short and professional. Razine was swayed, he's at plus 69 now. Maybe one more cycle, and we'll try and demand conversion. 72%, so I think I'll feel pretty comfortable if the next time he scales up. August of 915, and we have some plague up here in Aquitaine. Louis coughs. It's, what is that? That's a consumption plague. Well, that reminds me. Excuse me. Personal physician, I want you to do advanced research right now. All right, with the babe cradled in her arms, Duchess Oneka looks up at me, her face surprisingly serene. My love, let us name him Vasco after you. I'm not really into that. I had something else in mind. And a good Galician name. Enrique, Yeah, I like that. Learning education. Educate child. It should be me. Am I not available? Do I already have 2, I guess? So let's take a look at learning capability. Great learning, but not very good stats. This is a real strong possibility. This is a bit better balanced. With these priests, though, you gotta look at traits if you want to roleplay it. Diligent, content, stubborn, and astute intellectual. Like, if you get lustful on there, I wouldn't send no kids their way. I don't care what gender they are, right? Callous, diligent, craven, mastermind philosopher, and unyielding defender. Let's try Gerard, even though he's not Galician. Which we could convert him to French, but we're not going to. All right, now that I have my my doctor researching advanced medicine to improve his or her talent, I forget who we have as a doctor. I need to keep an eye on plagues so that I can switch over to plague defense if it gets close. How are we looking on our military? Okay, we're plussed up everywhere. Making 5.1 ducats per month. I have almost 1,600 men, including 900 professional men-at-arms. And we just discovered public works. Now, I actually forget what that does for me. I think it has something to do with development. Galician. Innovations. Counties now reach the maximum existing development penalty at 20 development. Funding the construction of public works like roads, schools, and aqueducts will allow our settlements to grow to larger sizes, ensuring the prosperity of our people for generations to come. Okay, so now we're going to take barracks. And that'll be done in 50 years. Oh, plenary assemblies is a good one too. But barracks is what should allow me to upscale. What kind of map mode am I in here? Oh, I'm looking at culture. Because I have that tab open. Okay, let me kind of double check here for a second. Large ditches, hill forts. Large ditches are dug around the defensive hilltop. Oh man, there's no pluses to cavalry here. I gotta look at this again in a minute. Large ditches are dug around the defensive hilltop. Because of the ditch's muddy and slippery walls, foolish assailants might find themselves stuck at the bottom, drowned in mud by the advance of their fellow soldiers. Wow. I might have messed this up, man. Anyway, Santiago has a keep building. Galician culture has the battlements innovation. Okay. To get battlements, I have to get into the early medieval era, and to do that, it's not... I don't know if it's locked to a time. It might be gate kept by a certain date also. But I know for sure that we have to finish the tribal era tech tree. And so that's why I need to get battlements done. We're going to take a look at that here in a minute. And see if battlements is a true precursor, because plenary assemblies would be good to have for legal purposes. Not in early medieval era. Fortification rights granted. Alright, and the keep building. I don't see the requirements there. So let's take another look here into Galician culture, innovations. All right, battlements. Well, it seems like I don't have to take barracks. Unlocks all tribal era military buildings. Okay, I am a little concerned about that, because I think that might be what unlocks keep. I would really like to take plenary assemblies, but I don't know if I can. Oh, it would be done faster also. Not a lot faster. I am going to focus on plenary assemblies, guys. It's just kind of, you know, these limited crown authority, when you start stepping through this stuff here, you can change your inheritance laws. And that is kind of important for the centralization of power and passing all the titles onto one heir. So that's supposed to be done in 20 years. And we're into 916 AD. Taking up the gold, trying to get to, what was it going to cost me? I thought 1,000. Yeah. Why, that's expensive, but look at this. Well, let's read it first. Built over the tomb of James the Great, this splendid edifice is the end point of the Way of St. James and the crown of one of the great sites of Christendom. Pilgrims from all over Western and Northern Europe arrive in large numbers, speaking dozens of tongues, though many become mute with awe. And that's the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela. It'll give us 3 gold per month, all by itself. In addition to that, it'll increase holding taxes by 30%, development growth by 20%. You get plus 0.2 per month, which isn't that another way of saying 20%? Anyway, piety 0.2 per month. Monthly renown plus 5%. Holy order higher cost negative 15%. Clergy opinion plus 5, and learn language phase length 20 days faster per scheme phase. Hey, there we go. Let's go ahead and see if we can demand his conversion. 99% chance. And he agrees. Alright, he's Catholic now. Learning perk available. And we'll take learn on the job. 20% of counselor's primary skills added to your own. Like that. Like that. Look at our numbers now. That's just... That's a way that you can make a good character into a pretty... I don't know if I want to say a great character yet, but getting really close. Like, I guess we would say really good character is through that learning tree. I don't really want to form an alliance with the Duke of Portugal. We're making 5.3 ducats per month now. We're 32. We got 4 kids, including 3 boys. How's our eldest developing? Oh, he's looking good. That's pretty good for 8 years old. Look, a nice even balance. Not bad, kiddo. Challenge to board game. I accept. Whoops, hit pause. A game of chess will begin immediately. Okay, let's play. Count Berenguel is already waiting to begin our little chess match. Sat waiting with a competitive grimace writ large across his features. We're neck and neck, though neither of us is even close to victory. See, this is why I like chess, opines my opponent. No skulking around, no lying, just a fair game of wits. One where, well... The thing about chess, as I understand it, is that really, maybe back in the day, whenever it was a relatively new game, it was about creativity and live thinking about what you were going to do in the moment in what I would call an authentic manner. Nowadays, it seems to be about how many of all the various... It's like Bruce Lee. Okay, I'll explain that in a minute. It's how many of the various openings can you memorize and how to carry that strategy out. And also, when you see how your opponent is using it, which one of those he picked, and so how you can counter. It turns it into a rock, paper, scissors matchup, in my opinion. Now, this is what I have heard about Bruce Lee. I don't know if it's true or not, but I just heard that he knew so many different various martial arts at such a deep level that he understood your ideological and philosophical approach in martial arts so well. He knew what you were going to do before you knew what you were going to do. And that allowed him to do like a feint, knowing how you would react to that through your training, and then he knows how to exploit it off of that. He's already athletic as heck and very, very fast, and that makes him even faster, right? It's like having a crystal ball. And that's kind of what chess feels like these days, is that if it goes to he who can memorize the most amount, he or she. There's some really strong female chess performers ranked at the top of the world list, or up in the top, you know, memorizing all of the various openings and then recognizing those whenever your opponent uses them as well, so that you can pick the right counter. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's what it seems like. One where, well, a strong sword arm is a strong die arm. A martial challenge. Well, I'm not super good at martial. I would like a learning challenge. Intrigue or learning. Here we go. You think you can outthink me? Our match marches on. Berenguel continuing with several well-executed adaptive strategies. Blast it, somehow this man seems to counter every stratagem I employ. We're neck and neck, though neither of us is even close to victory. I wish matters of coin were as easy as playing chess, remarks my opponent. I'd be swimming in silver. Okay, so we got martial, intrigue, and learning again. Well, I'm going to always take that learning. I know the rules of chess like the back of my hand. So see, I guess there is a bit of live, like it's like what is said in the last thing, where you have to adapt your strategies and stuff, like in real time. I get that. I acknowledge that. But it's still memorizing a whole slew of canned responses as opposed to creating on the fly. Is what I'm thinking. Okay, so several well executed. This says the same thing. See, this is why I like chess. Okay, so go learning again. You win the game. You lost 11 stress. With a smug smile, I place my final piece upon the board. This game of chess is mine. Another fine victory on my indisputable rise towards the role of king of games. Nothing but the shallow husk of a man is left. Well, gee, really? He can't believe I won. I'd love to play again sometime. Yeah, we should do that. Your opponent makes an obscene gesture and leaves. Oh, okay. Okay, we'll let this flick over to the new year, and then we'll save it and call it an episode. We had a couple important things happen, mostly in our tech tree. We gained 2 technologies this episode. We got our wife to come join us at court, and then we gained some points in the learning tree, which is that's what combined to boost our scores up so much. So we have a quite well-rounded character here with some really good scores. I've had better, doing the genealogy thing, or what do they call it, eugenics. I've had family members just like a non-stop rolling of heirs that were 20 pluses across the board, because that's what eugenics can do for you. But this is very strong, in my opinion. All right. It's the 12th of January, 917 AD. We have 463 ducats. We have 5.4 ducats per month. We can call up about 1,600 men, including 900 professional men at arms. We own 2 counties plus the duchy. Our wife has joined our court finally. That's good. Our kids are growing up. They seem to be doing well in education. I really only checked my heir, but I assume the others are also doing pretty good. They're awful young. It's hard to tell. He seems to be doing okay. Not quite as well as his brother, but he's younger also. He is being tutored by me, so we'll see. This is what the world looks like. Byzantine Empire making huge gains, and the Arabic Empire kind of collapsing and imploding. Khazaria is beginning to break up, it looks like. And I do not see the Mongols. Alright guys, let's hit escape. Save game. And this should be Wednesday's episode, so for those of you that it applies to, I wish you a very happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'm saying this from a couple days beforehand, but for you, it should be Wednesday. And again, I'm Aesop Grimm. Thank you for coming by the channel. I hope you like what you saw. More importantly, I hope all is well in your neck of the woods. I think we do have an awful lot to be thankful for, particularly here in America, where it's my opinion that we completely avoided tyranny. We were real close. The things they had in mind for both Trump and us as a population were, I think, approaching like the levels of unspeakable. I think we really just got out from under the headsman's axe on that one, and I think that God is to thank for that. So an awful lot to be thankful for this Thanksgiving here in the United States of America. And I am hoping that for those of you, I realize my perspective is that the mainstream media all around the globe pushes an anti-Trump narrative that if you just did a little research with a skeptical mind to find out, did he say these things? Is this true about, what they're saying about making a more dangerous world? You would find out that it's actually the opposite that is true. And so my hope is that you guys will see, I don't expect you to take my word on it right now, but that you will see over the course of the next 4 years that the world actually becomes a safer place than what it's been. I think you should be able to just flash back to 2020, see Trump exiting office, Biden entering office, the state that America gets into, and then watch how the world just descends into chaos with wars everywhere, the disastrous withdrawal in Afghanistan. North Korea launching nukes again into the ocean, Ukraine ratcheting up. I think, but if you can't, or you see things differently, then I'm hopeful that you'll be able to see in these next 4 years that this is a win for all of us. Not because America is so amazing, but because simply logically the position that we hold in the world has a lot of influence. So hopeful of hopeful. We'll see how it pans out. I wish all of you the best in what is certainly a topsy-turvy world. And I'll see you in the next episode where the story continues.